Hello and welcome to today's Optics Trade Debates. In today's issue, myself, Theodor, and
Andras,
we will discuss a really interesting topic, which is lately quite common, and that is thermal optics and digital night vision optics. Both are used for low light and night vision observations or hunting. And we have a lot of questions from our customers. What is the difference between thermal and digital night vision? What are the advantages of one another, and so on. So I think that Rash, you went through most of the questions. We also did a small offline debate already about this topic, or we speak about this many times in our work. So what are the most common questions?
Yeah, so most of the questions deal with the differences in all the many aspects that we have. And I would say that most people start by asking what are the differences in terms of physical differences between digital night vision devices and between thermal devices.
Well, basically, all two different technologies can be found in many different products. So we have digital and thermal scopes, like monoculars, like this. Then we have digital and thermal binoculars. Then we have clip-ons, like these two, F135 and the Core series from Koza. And we also have digital night vision riflescopes and thermal riflescopes. We don't sell them in our store due to local legislation, but they are on the market. So physically, they come in all different flavors and in very similar categories, in very similar devices. So the purpose of let's say, a scope or a monocular is the observation, and they both come in the same physical form, more or less the same size and weight, with a similar principle, but with a different type of technology integrated, so a different way both of these two devices work. So in physical aspect, I would say, even if you look here at these two clip-ons, there are not many big differences between them physically. When you look at them outside, they both have an objective lens, the eyepiece lens, buttons for the menus, the battery compartment, which is of similar size, and so on. So mostly these two devices it's really hard to see any physical difference. The main reason for that is that their basic principle, how they work, is very similar. Both of them have the objective lens, or the system of lenses in the objective. Then they have a sensor. Normally a thermal has a thermal sensor, a digital night vision has a infrared sensor, and then normally the whole electronics and the power compartment and so on, and then the display on which you're able to see the image, either thermal image or digital night vision image. And then of course the eyepiece lens, so that you can adjust the diopter setting to see the display clear. The only immediately noticeable difference between them is the infrared illuminator, which only digital night vision devices feature, while the thermal don't need an illuminator. The thermal devices, they're passive. They work without any emitting of any light. So this is the only immediate difference that you see between digital night vision and thermal devices.
Now that we're still here at the physical appearance, does the physical appearance influence the price? Or with other words, is there any price difference between clip-on attachments and monoculars?
There is huge price difference, but I don't think that physical appearance or the size and so on doesn't really makes any influence on the price. So the technology itself, the sensors, and normally the cores which process the image and so on, those are the components which influence the price. And at the moment, I would say the price it's about 5 times higher in thermal devices than in digital night vision. If we look at, let's say, a common price for a digital night vision scope is around 500 euros. The common price for a thermal night vision scope is around 1,500 euros. So 3 times of a difference. It can be even more. I would say the best digital night vision scopes come up to 800 euros, while the best thermal cameras come to, I would say, 4,000, 5,000. So it's quite a big price difference. The same is with clip-ons and binoculars. There is from 3 to 5 times of a price difference. So the thermal devices are much more expensive. They work on a different principle. The sensors are much more expensive, and this raises the price.
Of course. Now, okay, usually our customers, they ask about the physical properties, but what they really want to know, and what usually comes after that question, is what about the differences in the optical properties? You already started with some. Can you elaborate on the topic?
It's hard to explain directly the optical differences because the technology is so different.
Of course.
And if we go, let's say, to the range of detection, with digital night vision, I would say the range of detection at around 400 meters, it's already the maximum even for the best devices. Some of them state that you can even watch on 500 meters, but it's hard because the infrared illuminators are not powerful enough to illuminate objects in the field of view enough so that you'll be able to see animals or something else on 500 meters. While with thermal devices, even those which are the most entry level, the most basic thermal devices, they already have I would say, detection range of 1 kilometer without a problem. When we come to high quality devices, 2 kilometers is also no problem, or even more. So the range of detection is just staggeringly different.
So this is for example, an entry-level thermal device,
Yeah,
1,400 euros approximately.
Yeah, it's approximately 1,400 euros. The Pulsar Quantum Light 23V, and this one has a range of detection of 800 meters.
Oh, so yeah,
so
as you said,
twice as much or more than with digital night vision. And the second thing what it is, with digital night vision, even if it has the range of detection of, let's say, 450 meters, it will still really hard to see on such distance any small objects.
And let me just stop you once again. With the digital night vision devices, you often need to buy an illuminator extra to get it, because they're more powerful,
to extend the range.
Extend the range.
You have a Picatinny rail on the housing outside. You put a really strong, big, powerful infrared illuminator, and then you extend the range and see better. But still, this is, even with the best illuminator, it is hard to reach even close to the ranges of thermal devices. The second thing what it is, with thermal, you're able to see through fog, you're able to see through rain, all those, even through woods or bushes and so on a little bit, because all of those opticals, they reflect light, and when you have the infrared illuminator, which is beaming light towards the objects which you are watching or observing, you will get all the reflection back. So that means when it's fog, it doesn't work, any night vision, the digital or the analog. When it's raining, again, you get all the reflection back from all the droplets. Again, you have a really poor image quality. In the bushes, in the forests, you always have the problem that all the branches and the trees and so on, it reflects back the infrared light from the illuminator, and then of course again you have a poor image quality. With thermal, this is not a problem. With thermal, you see through the bushes, through the fog, through the rain without a problem, and you really detect that something alive and warm is there. So in this aspect, the thermals are much better. It is true, however, that they are more expensive due to this reason. The second difference, which it is noticeable immediately, is that with thermal devices you only see warm parts of the animal. So when the animal has a trophy on its head, let's say when you're looking at red deer, a big trophy, with digital night vision you will be able to see the trophy, and you will be able to see all the parts of the animal which are cold or not warm enough. And you will still be able to judge the trophy also on distances up to 200 meters or 300 meters. It depends how good the digital night vision device is, but still you'll be able to see all those parts which are cold on the animal, or at least not as warm as the body. With thermals, the animal will have to come closer so that you will be able to see the trophy. With the best thermals, you're able to see that there is something on top of the head of a red deer, but you're not able to precisely see what. If you wish to see the trophy and to be able to judge the trophy, the animal has to come to, let's say, 70, 60 meters with average thermal. Of course, there is a huge difference between the best and the entry-level thermal, but still, even the best thermal, you will need the animal closer to judge the trophy than with the digital night vision.
Now that we're here talking about trophies, there is another common question that we get, and that is, can you specify gender with a thermal device when looking at the animal?
It depends on the animals.
Of course,
It really depends on the animals. Of course, the simple question is yes, but harder than with a digital night vision. So if you have wild boars and a group of wild boars, you are able to judge gender also with a thermal device. Of course, the better the sensor, the higher the resolution, the better you will have the chances to judge which gender the animal is. But still, in this aspect, the digital night vision will have some advantage. It will be easier to judge the gender with digital night vision than with thermal.
Now that you have already, now that we're talking about the physical and optical properties, you already mentioned some advantages of one and the other, but still, can we perhaps sum up the main points regarding the advantages and disadvantages of each type here?
Well, the first, if we start with digital night vision, the advantages of digital night vision are the price. They're cheaper than the thermals. Resolution, at the moment, most of the digital night vision devices still have higher resolution than thermals. With thermals, the front sensor is usually the bottleneck of the resolution. Then the next advantage is that you're able to see the trophy, you're able to see all the parts of the animal which are cold on a longer distance than with a thermal. So the last advantage of digital night vision is that you're able to recognize the gender a little bit easier. The advantages of thermal are the range. You're able to see the animals at a lot bigger distances. They work well in fog, in rain, with opticals when you're looking inside of the bushes or inside of the forests or something like that. And usually you're able to detect the animals faster. The disadvantage normally is the price.
Of course.
So this is, I would say, they're very different devices, and the best thing is to have a combination of both. To have either digital night vision for observation and thermal clip-on for shooting, or the other way around. I think the best way it is to go with a thermal for observation and then digital night vision for hunting, because you're able to detect animals at really long distances. You're able to see them even through the forests, through the I would say bushes and so on, and then you're able to really distinctly see the gender, the trophy and so on with a digital night vision, either clip-on or a rifle scope, and to have a combination of both is probably the best. Even after the shot, if the animal runs still for a couple of meters, again with a thermal, that's much easier to see if it goes into the forest, into the bushes. With thermal, you're able to see it. With digital night vision, you're not. So I would say most of our customers, they go with a combination. Either they say, I'll have a clip-on, which is thermal, and I'll have a digital night vision for observation, or the other way around. So to get best of both of these two worlds.
I have one last question. Where do you think is the future of observing at night? Is it in the digital night vision devices, or is it in thermal devices, or in both?
I think that in this close proximity future, there will always be a combination of both. So I think that what will happen in the next couple of years is that night vision, analog night vision, Gen 2 Plus or Gen 3, will be completely replaced by thermals. While Generation 1 night vision devices and similar will be replaced by digital night vision. I would say in the future, which is a little bit further away, let's say 10 years from now, I think that fusion devices will replace everything what we have on the table today. So devices which will have both channels in one device, and where you will get a combination of picture which will be made from thermal channel and from digital night vision
Devices
channel.
such as that already exist, but
Yeah.
they're expensive.
They're very expensive. They already exist. Fusion devices. I think that Photonis is one of the leading companies in this market where they are making the fusion devices. I know that the Canadians, the GCCI, I think they also
Produce,
they are also producing the fusion devices. I think that is the future. But for the next 5 years, these two will still predominate, and the analog night vision will slowly, at least in the civil market, at least in the market of hunters, the digital night vision will slowly be the analog night vision devices will fade away and be replaced with all these thermal and digital night vision devices.
Thank you, Theodore. That would be all from my side.
Draž, you are welcome. I hope we didn't forget any of the topics. If we did, because I know this is a really
Extensive topic.
topic. If you forgot anything, please use comments on this YouTube video. Write down the questions. We will come back and reply. Send us an email or visit our webpage for additional questions. And normally, if you like the video, please subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.